Yo guys, what's going on, and welcome to my first video on this channel. I am PokeMaverick. If you haven't heard of me before, that's probably because I've recently just started this channel. I hope you're going to enjoy this video. Basically, this video is going to be summing up my top 10 favourite Pokemon within Generation 1. So what you can expect from my channel, basically, I'll be doing top 10 videos. Hopefully soon I'll be doing some actual gameplay within Pokemon. If you want me to do some other videos, then let me know. I'm mainly going to be doing top 10 videos. Send me some suggestions. If we get 5 likes on this video, then I will be doing another top 10 video, but this time it will be on Generation 2, my top 10 favourite Pokemon from Generation 2. So yeah, let's get into this top 10. So, Generation 1. Obviously, there are 151 Pokemon to choose from, running through from Bulbasaur right through to Mew. Now, I have tried to narrow this down, so if you think I've missed any, then let me know. Let's get into this top 10. Anyway, starting off with number 10, he is a rock and ground type. He is actually one of the statues at the start of the game, and he is known as Rhydon. Many of you will probably agree he's an absolute tank. Obviously, he's seen in quite a lot of the gyms in the Pokemon League as a statue. Technically, the first ever Pokemon. Main reason for him actually being on this list is because his evolution line is absolutely phenomenal. I love his design, and basically the main reason is because he can learn Surf. Yep, you heard me right. A 4 times weakness to water can learn Surf. And overall, Rhydon is just an absolute beast. Everything about him is just absolutely amazing. Basically, that's why Rhydon is at number 10 for my top 10. Moving on to our 9th spot on the list, we do have a Bug-type Pokemon. This is actually a Pokemon you'll be quite surprised about. I just actually love his and the evolution of his design, and he goes by the name of Cypher. Now, this Pokemon looks absolutely phenomenal. His design is just perfect. His evolution into Scizor is absolutely awesome, but I shouldn't really be talking about that when I'm talking about Gen 1, but I will anyway. Cypher, in my opinion, probably could have had a baby evolution, but I really don't mind. Anyway, when I played through the first gen games, I found the game corner, and I found out that you could get Pokemon from winning, basically. And I found a Cypher, and I was like, hey, you know what? Cypher sounds awesome. He looks awesome as well. So that made me really get to like Cypher. Obviously, his moveset in Gen 1 isn't amazing, but honestly, him as a Pokemon overall, I think he's absolutely awesome. The only reason why I put it so low on the list is mainly because I think he should have a baby evolution, and Pokemon have missed out quite a bit there. But anyway, that is why Cypher is at number 9 for this list, and let's move on to number 8. So moving on to number 8, it is actually a Psychic type Pokemon. Psychic type within this gen were absolutely OP. I'm very sorry to include this because I feel that it was a bit unfair, but I am going to be including the legend that goes by the name of Mewtwo. Now, obviously Mewtwo is a mutated Pokemon that has been created to try and recreate a duplicate of Mew. Now, I think, honestly, that Mewtwo is probably one of the greatest Pokemon to actually ever exist. He gave legendaries a good name. Obviously, later generations, legendaries have become less precious, shall we say. Obviously, when I was a kid, I used to play through some of these generation games, and Mewtwo, he was just, honestly, like, someone who I'd always want to get. Like, he was on my team every time. Obviously, given that he's a legendary, he's quite low on the list. When I watched the first Pokemon movie, obviously Mewtwo was in it, and I instantly fell in love with Mewtwo when I saw him. And that is mainly why Mewtwo is on this list and why he's at number 8. So moving on to number 7 on this list, we are going back to the Bug-type Pokemon. Now, this is a Pokemon that everyone had on their team at the start of the game, and he goes by the name of Beedrill. He or she, sorry, goes by the name of Beedrill. Now, Beedrill for me was a very scary but OP Pokemon when I used to play through games like Leaf Green or Fire Red. I've never liked wasps in my life. Quick fun fact. And Beedrill, I instantly liked him because he was actually the first Pokemon I ever evolved to its final stage. Because obviously the first evolution, the starter Pokemon takes so long to evolve. But Beedrill, for some reason, I instantly fell in love. He was so overpowered at the start of the game as well. Obviously, at the stage with Kakuna and Weedle, I weren't too fussed about him. I just caught him because I needed another Pokemon on the team. But Beedrill has a special place in my heart because it was the first Pokemon I ever evolved. And in my opinion, Beedrill is actually quite an underrated Pokemon, and that is why it is 7th on this list. Right, now going on to number 6 on this list, it's going to be a water type. And no, it is not going to be the starter Blastoise. It is going to be none other than the water Pokemon Cloyster. Now, Cloyster for me, one, is very scary, and two, was actually very useful within my games because I didn't actually ever choose Blastoise. I always went with Charizard. I think quite a lot of people went with Charizard. Now, Cloyster was a very good water type Pokemon for me. It was so powerful, had such good attack, such good defense as well. Obviously, I had to use it for Surf, which was also very handy. And for me, Cloyster just looks menacing. He looks very powerful and just overall menacing, and that is why Cloyster is number 6 on this list. Now we are at the halfway point in the video, and we are going on to number 5 on this list. Now, when I was a kid, I actually used to play quite a lot of Sonic games, so I liked the idea of a hedgehog within my games. And when I found out about the Pokemon Sandslash, literally, I've never been so happy in my life. Obviously, Sandshrew, very good Pokemon as well, but Sandslash is literally a remake of Sonic, in my opinion, through the Pokemon games. And I think Sandslash is another very underrated Pokemon, and it's a Pokemon I just love. His design, obviously, is absolutely awesome. His shiny looks quite good as well, actually, which I've never got a hold of, which annoys me. But overall, Sandslash just reminds me of Sonic back in the day, and it just brings back loads of nostalgia. And Sandslash, for me, is actually a very, very good Pokemon, and that is why he is 5th on my list. Now we're going into the top 4 of this list, and we're going to start it off with the always angry and the always aggressive Primeape. Now, I know what you're thinking. Primeape is a fighting type. He's not very. He's not actually used much in the games. Usually you'd go for much better fighting types. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know Primeape wasn't a very much used Pokemon within the games. But I actually really like Primeape. One, because he really emulates me in real life. I get pissed off quite a lot. And Primeape for me is just like, he is such a good Pokemon. Like, he, again, underrated, very, very strong actually as well. And at the stage of Mankey, he reminded me of me quite a lot. I think, in my opinion, I actually look a lot like a Mankey. And just the evolution to Primeape, it topped it off. 100% it topped it off. And that is why Primeape is 4th on my list. So, moving on to the 3rd place on this list, and it is none other than the mascot of my channel, it is Growlithe. Growlithe is just one of the most cutest and most cuddly Pokemon I've ever seen. If you don't actually know, when I play through a lot of my games, I make sure I get a hold of a Growlithe and call him Ace. For me, Growlithe is just such a nice Pokemon. He's actually very strong within the games. His ability to intimidate was very handy at the start of games as well. When I actually watched the Red movie, Growlithe, that was the first time Growlithe actually caught my eye, and I was like, hey, this guy looks so strong. He is so good. He looks like a dog as well. If you didn't know, I do love dogs a lot. I just have some unconditional love towards Growlithe. I think he is honestly one of the best Pokemon within all the generations. Obviously, I haven't put him top on the list because that's what I thought you'd all expect, and that's why he is only 3rd on my list. Moving on to the Pokemon that just missed off on the top spot, we are going to Charizard. Yes, I know it's a starter Pokemon, but Charizard, okay? It is Charizard. Now, when I was younger, I actually used to watch the anime when the anime was actually good. I think it's gone a bit off now. I haven't really been watching it as much. Obviously, Ash had a Charizard. And when he told him to leave, honestly, I was so shocked in a way. I've never been whenever I started a Gen 1 game, I would always choose Charmander. I've never been so attached to a starter in a game before, but I don't know what it is about Charizard. Charizard, he's so powerful. His attacks are amazing. And the best part about him is that he can learn Fly, so I don't have to have a flying type in my team, because I do think flying types just take up a spot in your team, which annoys me. But honestly, Charizard, mate, you are you literally are the best starter that Pokemon games have had for a long, long while. And that is why you're 2nd on my list. Finally, we are going on to the Pokemon that has topped my top 10 list. Now, within all the Pokemon of the 151, I did eventually make my decision. I was really tempted to put Charizard at the top, But I thought, no, this Pokemon is honestly something that could top Charizard. Even though it's weak to it, because it's another bug type. Yes, a third bug type in a top 10 list. I know, it's annoying. But Pinsir, in my opinion, is the best Pokemon from Gen 1. I just love his design. His attacks are so overpowered. He has a one-hit KO move called Guillotine, which is so good as well. From the 151 Pokemon, I honestly think he's literally the best. Again, another Pokemon you can obtain through the Game Corner. Obviously, when I saw this, I got both him and Scyther. Like both him and Scyther are really good Pokemon. I actually completed a game with Pinsir in my team, which was very good. I also like Pinsir's shiny colour as well. I think that looks really nice. And the best part about, obviously, later generations in the game is he does have a Mega Evolution. And his Mega Evolution is so overpowered. He is so good. And that is why Pinsir is at the top of my list for this top 10 Generation 1 favourite Pokemon, in my opinion. So guys, thank you very much for watching my first video on this channel. If you have enjoyed, then do like and subscribe. Like I said, if we get 5 likes on this video, I will be doing a top 10 favourite Pokemon from Generation 2 video. If you haven't, I suggest you go and follow my Twitter. It is at PokeMaverick386. Everything goes down on there. I update you guys on what's going on. And it's literally, you will find out when a video goes out every single time. So yeah. If you enjoyed this video, do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.